What's up, guys? It's your favorite Cubic coach. Welcome to another student before and after swing. This one's going to be a professional golfer. It's going to be a good one. Let's go do this thing. So welcome back to the channel, guys. If you guys are new to Cubic Golf Japan, we do a bunch of videos like this every single week. So what you got to go do is hit that little red subscribe button, smash the like button, leave a comment, and share the video, please. It really does help. And let's hop into the first part of this video. Alright guys, so we got a lady professional golfer today. This one's going to be an interesting one. Currently right now she's trying to qualify, I believe, for the Asia Tour, possibly the China Ladies Tour. Anyways, what she's currently struggling and working on is she has a little bit of this kind of move where the hands work out towards the golf ball. She starts to tilt, right? And then through impact you see the tilting even increase a little bit. Not a whole lot of chest rotation, and she really struggles with a little bit of a left miss, as well as when she tries to hold it off, she'll get the block miss out to the right. PAF numbers, she was right around kind of +5, +4 range with the iron swing, right around 3 down on the ball too as well. So swing direction was a decent way out to the right, and then obviously that, coupled with the angle attack, was getting her club path too far right. She was having a hard time matching up the face to that, essentially. So in this video, we're going to kind of take a look at the before swings first. We're going to show you kind of what we just talked about, and then we'll show you what we changed. So the first place I always like to start off with is, especially for a player when we see the hands working too far out, is in the lesson when we're kind of showing them what they're doing wrong, we draw this line from the golf ball up through kind of the right shoulder. And it's just going to be, again, a reference point to where the hands are moving. And as you can see, at this position 5, you can see that the hands are on this line or slightly above the line, right? And for us, with our personal preference, whenever we see players get their hands too far out, which we kind of talked about in the last video, if you guys watched that, from this position, they really can't get the chest on top of the ball and cover. They actually have to either start tilting or they got to start extending and throwing, right? One of the two. Both of those options, preferably, I would not recommend you guys to do, especially the latter option when you're trying to tilt, because I think that's going to be really bad for the lumbar spine. But again, that's what this player was currently doing. Now from this position, you're going to see at position 6 from here, you can see that she starts to extend a little bit, right? So the pelvis line is extending. Not necessarily her chest is extending. It's really the pelvis line is extending, and she's starting to kind of crunch up her shoulders like this. And then from here, you're going to see that all rotation is really kind of stopping right around impact, right? So she's relying primarily on her release of the hands, and she also kind of has a little bit of a high handle look here too. So she's really, I personally think, destabilizing out the club face down at the bottom of the golf ball. And we definitely saw a really high launch angle as well, because again, whenever you get that high handle look, extending type of look, you're going to be adding loft. And she wasn't getting her distances with her wedges as well. She wasn't quite getting the control, right? And then from here to here, you can kind of see that right shoulder or right side lateral bend increasing. And then she gets a little bit of a high finish through here, and then she's kind of moving through the golf ball. So with this player, luckily she's pretty young, right? So I believe she's about 20 years old, 21 years old. So she's got plenty of time, right, to work herself out of this swing. And let's show you the after swing. We're going to kind of show you what we're transitioning her into. So in the after swing, you can see as she starts coming down, we're going to see obviously a drastic difference between the hand path, right? So before, we can see that the hands are on this line or above it. Now we can see that the hand path is a little bit more behind the line. Now if we want a player to have a little bit more of a cut swing, we might not get the hands as far behind as she's trying to do, but she likes to hit a little bit of a draw, so I'd much rather kind of see her hand positioning at this current position where it's currently at. Now another thing, if we kind of zoom in real quick, we can see that she actually has the hip line and the knee line slightly close to the target line on the after swing as opposed to the before swing. Now, we get a lot of flack from this because there's not a lot of people on tour that are actually doing it these days. Again, you're typically seeing the model players more open at that position. But again, I always like to argue whenever we see the players pretty far open, because their hip line is so far open, if they try to get the chest open too, that gets the hands and that gets the club way out, right? And the low point's going to be way out in front of the golf ball. So you always see the players who open their hips quite rapidly start to tilt through impact, which then I personally think loses their chest rotation, right? Their chest is not rotating as much. And I personally think that leads to high handles as well as it leads to players not controlling the face down at the ball. So because of that reason, that's why we prefer a little bit more of the model here on the right, especially for a person who's trying to hit a draw. Now, from this new position 5, let's go zoom out for a second, show you what we did from P5 to P6. So from P5 to P6, remember that before she was kind of raising the pelvis, tilting the shoulders, right? She's starting to get into that little bit of a right side lateral bend look that we really don't like. Now we're actually seeing that the pelvis line is actually not tilting as much. Now, is it coming out of left pelvic tilt? Absolutely. From position 5 to position 6, you're going to start seeing that the pelvis starts to level out, right? So you're coming out of left pelvic tilt, and then you're going to start transitioning into right pelvic tilt. But the issue is when players get the hands out, they just start this transition era way too soon, so you get way too tilted way too early, right? And that's kind of, hopefully you guys get that by now. All right, moving on. So from here, again, before swing right, not a lot of rotation of the chest, really the hands and arms the only thing moving. Now if we kind of see her moving through the golf ball, now we can actually see that there's a little bit of chest movement through here. And I personally, and it showed in the data as well, she personally had a lot better control over the face from here to here. And she also had a little bit lower dynamic loft, which was getting her carry distances back to kind of where she wanted it. I mean, she was only carrying her 9-iron about 110 yards before this. After the lesson, she was carrying it closer to about 120, 125, right? And she can even get a little further. She wasn't quite swinging full out. All right, from this new position, again, here's that right side lateral bend on the before. And let me erase these lines and we'll zoom in a little bit. And then in the after, you can see that a lot less of that right side lateral bend look, right? So her head is actually starting to release a lot better because again, the chest and the pelvis separation is a lot less. So it's easier for her to kind of rotate the spine. In the before swing, right, you see that the head is actually still kind of looking down this way. Because again, open the hips too early, tilted the shoulders, you're not going to be able to rotate the spine. I don't know how many times I got to say that before people start understanding, but can't rotate the spine, guys. Don't do it. And then from here, now you're seeing that the exit's a little bit lower and left. She's starting to churn through the ball a lot better. So I'll play these swings through really quickly a couple more times so you can kind of see in speed what was going down. So there you go. Hand path out, right side lateral bend, not a lot of rotation, and then churn. Hand path more down, pelvis a little bit more level. Now she's starting to add on the right, a little bit of right side bend, and then churning leveler through the shot, right? One more time for you guys. Here, 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 here. And then here, 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 here. All right, guys, so anyways, that was the before and after. That's kind of the swing model that we're working her towards. Again, we found that her dynamic loft got a whole lot better. We saw that path shifted just slightly a little bit more neutral, right? She was right around +3 at the end of the lesson. We still want her in the positive range, right? Because we like to see her hit push draws. That's her kind of her preference. But all in all, she did a really good job. We hope that she continues to practice the way that we laid out for her. We hope that she continues to kind of do the work and make sure that the old swing doesn't kind of work back. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys again next time.